The principals and headmasters in our public primary and secondary schools in a state that government promised and take credit for funding free education. This says we want to use this medium to call for stiffer punishment like compulsory retirement of head of teachers or schools who still hide through uniforms and other means to extort poor parents. How free is the free education in Rivers State? Is government providing toiletries, water, writing materials, desks that enable the school to operate? We think that our government should come out clean and explain to us.
Mr. George Will, however, criticized the state government and urged it to allocate sufficient funds for the smooth functioning of schools. He raised concerns regarding the state government's free education policy.
He who comes to equity should come with clean hands. Government cannot punish head of schools if it is not providing funds for daily smooth running of these schools. Is government providing toiletries, toilet, water, writing materials, desk, uniforms, and other essential things like electricity and other basic things that enable the school to operate? How free is the free education in Rivers State? We think that our government should come out clean and explain to us, so we will now know who to hold accountable. Is it the head of school or government?
As you may know, 2 public school principals have been suspended over allegations of extortions by the chairman of Rivers State Universal Basic Education Board, Fineface Aka. Last week at a meeting with principals, the State Commissioner for Education, Chinedu Mom, warned principals in public schools against extortion of fees from parents whose wards are in the public schools in the state. He said anyone caught will be made to face the law. In another development, a magistrate court in Port Harcourt has discharged and acquitted a university lecturer, David Ogbonna, who is standing trial for alleged sexual assault of a 20-year-old female student, Praise Ndamati. Recall that Professor Ogbonna, a lecturer at the Department of Microbiology, Rivers State University, was arraigned by the police on the 28th of June 2022 after he was accused by Ms. Ndamati of sexually assaulting her in his office. But the presiding magistrate, Chief Magistrate Poromon Menenen, in his judgment, said the prosecution team failed to prove that their client was sexually assaulted. Correspondent Emeka Otuga reports that Ima Oka, one of the lead lawyers to Professor Ogbonna, spoke to newsmen after the court judgment.
I will tell you that I am not surprised at all that the judgment of this court came the way and the manner and the direction it did. Because to some extent, law is a bit logical. And we knew from the one that in the absence of any evidence, upon which the ingredients of indecent sexual assault will be based on, there was no way the prosecution was going to succeed. And the end result will always be discharge and acquittal of the accused person. And that's exactly what the court did.
Dr. Oka also said that the court judgment will be sent to the university management to effect the reinstatement of Professor David Ogbonna, who has been on suspension.
Initially, we would have preferred that this case be heard in public so that Nigerians will be part of the proceedings and hear and see what evidence the prosecution was going to tender. Not one. And you had the court discharge the professor and acquit him. So what wrong did the professor commit? He was suspended. Of course, we are going to take the necessary steps to return him to status quo. I mean, it's been obvious that nothing has been found against him. He's innocent, has been innocent, and will remain innocent as far as this case is concerned, based on the facts that we have today.
Meanwhile, the prosecuting lawyer, G.U. Amana, declined to speak on the court judgment. Moving on, a middle-aged woman, Blessing Okechukwu, says her goods worth 50,000 naira were stolen by a taxi driver along the Obirikwere axis of Port Harcourt yesterday afternoon on her way back from Mbiama Market. Describing the taxi driver, Mrs. Okechukwu said is an aged man who drives an ash-colored Passat vehicle. The woman who came to make complaints at Nigerian Info Complex said the driver allegedly zoomed off after asking her to step down from the taxi to avoid security officers searching her.
I told him that I'm going to Eleparangwa. He charged me 1.5. I said, okay, no problem. But on our way, he said that there is SARS people, that I should come down. I should be trekking down small, that when he passed them, that he will carry me. As soon as I come down from the taxi driver, the man zoomed off with my load worth of 50,000 plus. Gary, I bought 3 benzene, 15,000. That is 2. 2 of them, 30,000. Then 1 benzene, 5,000. Then I bought yam of 10,000 plus inside the taxi.
Mrs. Okechukwu said other commuters told her that the Obrikwe axis of Port Harcourt in recent times is known for such kinds of robbery attacks and one-chance incidents. She said she left with nothing as this incident has affected her business. She's calling on the police to help her recover her goods.
As I'm walking around looking for it, anybody that I met, they will tell me that's how they have been doing. That will be recorded. Even as I went to police station and laid a complaint, the same thing is what they told me. That they have been hearing that kind of news. That will be recorded. This thing is affecting me because it's through there I'm feeding my family. As it is now, I carried all the whole money that I have and invest on that good. I'm the one catering everything for my family. I don't even have any good. That's why I went to that market. As it is now, I'm going to sit at home again. How will I feed my 3 children?
In other news, an environmentalist, Fine-Faced Dubnamene, has urged oil-bearing communities in the Niger Delta region to invest the 3% funds allocated to them by oil companies as contained in the PIA policy in renewable energy. Mr. Dubnamene gave the advice in an interview with correspondent Soibi Oruwari.
They have to use the money in such a way that it is used to spend on what has been properly planned for today and even take care of the generation of those unborn through a sustainable development process. A lot of the host community development trusts will be talking about siting electricity projects in communities. So we are advised them to not just site the electricity projects, but they should invest the money into clean and renewable energy. Like solar mini grids that can be constructed in communities.
Mr. Dubnamene also spoke on the gains of using the 3% funds allocated to oil-bearing communities to establish modular refineries.
We believe that if the host community development trust can build the capacity of their youth and push on the government to establish PACODE, it will go a long way to address the issue of pollution and repollution in their communities, and that way their 3% will not be withheld. We also call on the host community development trust to support efforts that talks about the establishment of modular refineries for artisanal refiners. That way the youth will be engaged, crisis will be minimized, because a lot of people will not focus on the 3% that is being expected as what everybody will be scrambling for.
A former process coordinator of the Port Harcourt refinery, Tony Nwalia, has urged the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority NMDPRA to adhere to operational standards when granting licenses for the operation of compressed natural gas (CNG) at filling stations. Recall that in August, President Bola Tinubu approved the establishment of the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative to ease the impact of petrol subsidy removal on Nigerians by reducing energy costs. Mr. Nwalia spoke on this in an interview with our correspondent.
My advice is that government will regulate and prepare those filling stations for CNG gas. Both the way of dispensing it will properly designed. Like in developed country, there are filling stations that have CNG. There are filling stations that go on fuel, which is gasoline. You understand me? So it's not every ton you can have filling station that will go to CNG. You must have the equipment that is designed for CNG, because it is trucks that will bring the CNG to your station.
Mr. Nwalia also advised the NMDPRA to uphold uncompromised standards while monitoring the activities of filling stations in the state. He said unethical practices occur in certain filling stations due to the management's failure to fulfill their responsibilities.
But for petroleum business, I will advise government and the government agency not to lower the standard. People compromise standard because of pecuniary interest. But again, it is the regulating agency that will guide against it. We believe in standard, and I want to believe that those who are there after us should maintain that standard. I remember that when we work, if filling stations are supposed to be built in the area, don't build it there. Because when they will fire, it will burn those people around there. They consider area you put filling station, and in those DPR will go to see where you want to put your filling station.
In other news, a faction of the Ezendibo in Rivers and Bayelsa states, led by Simon Wokolo, has faulted the reconciliation committee set up by the other faction led by Eze Adiele Umaduago to bring unity among Igbo groups in the state, in both states. Eze Sam Nwokolo, in a statement, questioned the rationale behind the constitution of such a committee led by Mr. Udoka Bestman, saying that there is peace among the Igbos in both states. He explained that his reign brought peace and unity among Igbo groups. He said the chairman of the said committee, Udoka Bestman, lacks the credibility to head such a position, even if there is need for such a sensitive panel. Eze Sam Nwokolo maintained that he and his followers will not accept any outcome of the Reconciliation Committee led by Mr. Bestman. He further called on Igbos in Rivers and Bayelsa states not to be distracted by those he described as mischief makers trying to cause separation among various Igbo groups in both states. Still to come, Senate to screen nominees for CBN governor and deputy governors today. Stay tuned. Circumstances surrounding the fire outbreak that engulfed a section of the Supreme Court yesterday. They told our correspondent that the fire could have led to loss of critical documents integral to judicial proceedings.
The government should probe into the fire incidents because vital documents are there, and we don't want to have a situation where they say they have lost vital documents to validate some cases in their custody.
It is disheartening that there was a fire outbreak in the Supreme Court. I think these are core problems that the government should look into. Now, such things will never happen again. They should be given proper attention.
Now, if Supreme Court don't burn, you know when you see election documents don't burn, let government prove into the matter.
In the same vein, the PDP has described the fire as suspicious. The party, in a statement signed by its National Publicity Secretary, Debo Ologunagba, demanded an immediate full-scale investigation into the fire outbreak. The party, while calling on the federal government to beef up security around the Supreme Court, also said that Nigerians must be assured of the safety of sensitive documents and equipment at the court, especially at this critical time. The Supreme Court has said that the fire incident will not affect the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal cases. The Lagos State Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal yesterday night upheld the re-election of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu as the deputy duly elected governor of the state. The three-man panel, in its unanimous decision, dismissed the two petitions filed by the PDP and its governorship candidate Olajide Adediran and that of the Labour Party, Gbadebo Rhodes Vivo. Justice Mikhail Abdullahi, while delivering the judgment, held that the petition of the PDP and its candidate lacked merit. The PDP candidate has rejected the judgment, saying he will study it and decide his next line of action. The Senate will screen former chairman of the board of Citibank Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, for the position of governor of the CBN today. This was made known in a statement by media office of the Senate leader, Senator Bayemi Bamidele. The statement also said that the Senate will screen ministerial nominees Jamila Bio Ibrahim and Ayodele Alawande as Minister of Youth and Minister of State for Youth on the 3rd of October. The federal government has declared Wednesday as a public holiday. Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo says the holiday is to commemorate the Eid al-Maulud celebration, the birth of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. He urged Nigerians, especially the youth, to embrace the virtues of hard work, peaceful disposition, and join hands with the federal government to build a nation that all citizens will be proud of. Satellite television DSTV says its subscribers will enjoy 1 year of non-stop premium entertainment, VVIP customer service, a limited edition gold decoder, and exclusive lifestyle benefits when they sign up for the DSTV Prestige. In a statement, the company said it is offering the special package called the DSTV Prestige and turning its focus to the world of luxury, where exclusivity reigns and customers seek more than just products to create unique and exclusive experiences. The statement said subscribers will enjoy exclusive discounts from Swatch, Nike, Eco Hotel, Polo Luxury, MedPlus, Tommy Hilfiger, Adidas, and others. The statement also said that the DSTV Prestige is a true embodiment of special treatment. It urged those interested to visit dstv.com/prestige to sign up.
And now we'll bring you news from around the world.
Mali's military junta says it will postpone February elections for technical reasons, further pushing back a timeline for a return to democratic rule after 2 coups. Mali had been expected to hold the first round of the vote on the 4th of February 2024 and the second round 2 weeks later. The election has already been delayed for 2 years. A statement by the junta said the delay will be small and was due to several factors, including a dispute with a French firm over a civil registry database. It said it will give a new timeline at a later date.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
On the news this morning, you heard that the Rivers State Civil Society Organization is demanding a strong action against public school head teachers and principals engaging in extortion. Some Rivers residents and the PDP are calling for a probe into yesterday's Supreme Court fire incident. The Senate will screen nominees for CBN governor and deputy governors today. The federal government has declared Wednesday a public holiday. On the foreign scene, Mali's military junta says it will postpone February elections for technical reasons. The news was edited by Martha Okere-Nkem. Mostly cloudy weather in Port Harcourt this morning. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. My name is Ifeyemi Andrew. Good morning.
You are